I'm Kirby Allison, and I consider myself immensely privileged to have traveled extensively while exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. From the preeminent tailoring houses of London's Savile Row and the majestic beauty of the Scottish countryside on a traditional driven game shoot, all the way to the rich tobacco fields and cigar factories of Cuba's finest cigar producers. Today, this journey of discovery continues as I set out on a 2-week grand tour to explore the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition here in Italy. Italy is, of course, a country steeped in history, from the Roman Empire of ancient times through the Renaissance of the 15th and 16th centuries to the modern state that it is today. Its magnificent cities always manage to combine a deep respect for the past with a keen outlook towards the future. But more than anything else, Italy is about the Italian people, always stylish and well-dressed, friendly and forthcoming. On this trip, we shall be meeting up with a wonderful array of celebrated Italian artisans and craftspeople. From bespoke tailors and shoemakers to a single vineyard winemaker, and even bespoke pen makers. This is truly an experience not to be missed, so I hope you'll join me, Kirby Allison, as we set out for what promises to be a truly extraordinary journey exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition of this great country. Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and here I am in Naples with my good friend Luca Rubinacci. At this moment, we're enjoying a little bit of la dolce vita, as they would say in Naples or here in Italy. After a little bit of work this morning, we've enjoyed an incredible lunch at your club at the invitation of your father. Very generous. And here we are, having a nice espresso to reflect on what was a great morning. And for sharing with us on this journey, the quality, craftsmanship, and tradition behind the House of Rubinacci.
First of all, thank you for coming, but I'm very surprised that you really want to get into the culture of Neapolitan. And as soon as they offered you the coffee, you asked me how you drink the coffee. I told you I drink without sugar.
Without sugar,
and now
yes.
you're drinking without
No
sugar. I'm surprised. So I'm happy that you follow the rules of
the
Neapolitan.
proper rules. Well,
yes.
I mean, one of the things that I find so fascinating about my time in Italy is that there are, in fact, rules, but the rules aren't the sake. You don't exist for the sake of the rules. The rules exist because of tradition, and there is a tradition at every single corner that you look here in Italy, a country with over 2,000 years of history, and in a city like Naples, you see it everywhere. This history dating back to really the time of Christ. I mean, 2,000 years ago.
Absolutely, absolutely. We really stick to the rules, but let's say that we know the rules in order to know how we can break them gently.
Yes.
Because this is really what makes us special, you know. We always try to see how to improve ourselves, how to improve our life, and everything, you know, starting from the roots. So we like to know what is our background to make better the future.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that I've seen is that despite Italy, despite Naples, and certainly despite the House of Rubinacci continuing to remain incredibly relevant and current and innovative, it's always done with a respect for the tradition and the past. And that balance between evolving and pushing forward while still staying true to your roots and your history, in fact, is Occam's razor. I mean, that is much more easily said than done. And the Italians, the people of Italy, somehow walk that tightrope.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
So one of the things that I was hoping that we'd spend some time speaking about, because I think that in all of Italy, there's probably no more formidable expert than Luca Rubinacci, and that is of the topic of sprezzatura, which sprezzatura is this essence of somehow respecting these rules while breaking them in a very personal way. And, you know, Luca, your Instagram profile serves as a constant source of inspiration for me. And I'm always slightly encouraged or, you know, motivated by your palette, you know, your sense of adventure whenever it comes to color.
But let's say that sprezzatura is the modern word to define a dandy that that doesn't exist anymore today because the contest doesn't exist.
The contest.
Let's say that for the real meaning of sprezzatura is apparently an outfit that apparently doesn't work together, but then put together the person that is wearing it with his personality, let them work. So that is the real essence of sprezzatura. It's not breaking the rules.
Yeah.
It's not being loud. It's not shouting. It's not a tie that is much longer than the other one. It's not this sprezzatura. Sprezzatura is an innate sense of style that it's playing with the rules, knowing the rules, knowing how to break it, and having the personality to break it. So sprezzatura is not something that you can read in the book. It is not something that it's written somewhere and says, okay, this is how I have to do it, let me do it.
Yeah. Can sprezzatura be copied? I mean, can someone,
No.
you know, look at someone else's profile and say, yeah, that's sprezzatura, I'm going to wear that?
No. Many Italians, they don't really know about sprezzatura. Maybe sprezzatura is a meaning done by international people, you know.
By the internet.
Yeah, but because I think that who really make sprezzatura out of it, he didn't know even what sprezzatura means.
Yeah.
And he don't really care. I don't care about sprezzatura. And I think that today we have to take care more about the sense of style. That is something you can build. It's not, I'm not the kind of person that will say you can born with style or not. The style, you can build it, little by little. But it's a passion.
Yeah.
You can get out of it. You can feel confident on little by little, understand what is good for you, what is not good for you. We are not everybody the same. You know, even from the social platform, I always invite my follower not to copy my style or the style of someone else they're following, but just taking a little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit of that guy. I like the way this guy act. I like the way how he put the shoes of the other guy. And the complex, it's gonna be yours.
Yeah.
Look at that. One of my mentor used to be Sergio Loropiana, no?
Okay.
And one of his homework used to be, Luca, I want you to walk in Monte Napoleone for an hour and come back to me and tell me what you don't like. Not what you see and you like. What you see and you don't like. Because is where we have to start from what you don't like to understand what you really like. Because to see how nicely the people dress, it's easy. Because you're seeing already something you like it.
Yeah.
But you have to discover really what you don't like and understand from there what is going to be something that you can like it.
Yeah. Do you think that it's more difficult to identify what it is that you don't like than it is what you do like?
Absolutely, much more difficult because, you know, I like a beautiful car, but which is the car that you don't like? You don't remember.
Yeah, that's interesting. And as one kind of approaches their journey on developing their sense of style, you know, where is it that you think people then should begin?
From the base. You know, everybody starts from the base.
And these are the rules.
Well, my children is 14 years old and is now starting to walk. Is not running. Of course, it depends on your budget, but you know, sometimes you can build out your style without only thinking about the money you're gonna spend.
Yeah.
Because today, with so many markets around the world, vintage market, beautiful brand that are open to everyone, you can really build your own cool style. Yeah. You know, it doesn't mean that you need to buy something that has a label that define you a stylish person.
I mean, I think that that's interesting because, you know, this day and age, more than ever in time, is one able to develop their own personal sense of style. I mean, there's no shortage of inspiration with the internet, with Instagram. You can gain so much inspiration.
We are lucky today. Yeah. People in your generation is much luckier than in the 90s, in the 80s, where you only was reading magazine, where mostly of the time were publicity. Yeah. And so you were following what the brand want you to follow. Yeah. Today you can follow real people. Okay, they maybe dress from someone that is paying them to wear that clothes, but it's much more versatile. It's much more easy to get it.
Much more authentic. Why do you think it's important today to dress up? I mean, you know, we're coming kind of at the end of this, what hopefully is just a cycle of people dressing down, right? Of not wearing ties, of not wearing jackets, certainly not wearing over-the-calf socks, and these other accoutrement, pocket squares, you know, braces. But here we are, you know, sitting in this beautiful club here in Naples. I mean, I've traveled a very long way to be here, to have the opportunity to sit down with you. And, you know, we're taking the effort to dress up. And I dress up whenever I'm back home in Dallas, as I would imagine you do whenever you're back home in Milan. Why is that important? Why should people even care?
First of all, I want to say something. Dressing up is not only wearing a jacket and tie. We are wearing a jacket and tie in this moment because we are in a private members club, yachting club, where it's required.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone here with shorts inside this room, it will not be dressed up. Yesterday night, we went to our friends at the pizzeria, and we were wearing nicely t-shirts and a Soriana and something. We were nicely dressed for the occasion. Yeah. I'm a surfer, and I surf the waves of the beach where I'm going with my boxer and swimming trunks, long swimming trunks, and t-shirt. I'm a gentleman in that context.
Yeah.
What you're referring to is why people are dressing down in a context where they are not required to be dressed like that.
Yeah.
So that is a problem.
So it's really not an issue of dressing up, but
not
it's an issue of
rational.
dressing down.
Then the rules say sometimes, better dressing up than dressing down, because dressing down, everybody will see you.
Yeah.
Dressing up, you at least you are better dressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you're going to stand out, I always felt that it's better to stand out dressing up than dressing down.
The thing is that today people think that being comfortable and dressing in a way that it's super lazy, it's cool, it's easier, it's more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand, but then they have to be identified in that context.
Mm-hmm.
If you arrive in another context, if you want to be a gentleman,
mm-hmm.
you should understand where you're going,
yeah.
and you have to dress appropriately. That is the way of a gentleman, and it doesn't mean again, jacket and tie or a swim shirt on a wave.
Yeah. One of the things that I find interesting is that just looking back to my own journey, kind of reflecting on what it is that you've shared. I mean, of course, your father is an icon in and of himself. And your grandfather, the whole business was started because the King of Italy, identified him as someone that really understood elegance and how to dress. And that was really the genesis of this entire family business was, him being plucked out by the King of Italy, who knows how many years ago. And so, you've had incredible inspiration to kind of inherit and take from. My journey, in many ways started out kind of on my own of drawing inspiration for people like you and your father, your grandfather, through photographs and through stories. And what I found is that, going back to this issue of sprezzatura, is there's a point at which through one's journey, in some ways you come full circle of, in many ways, not caring, right? Caring, but not caring. I mean, I care to dress up. I enjoy dressing up, right? It's something that brings me confidence. It brings me, it helps me stand taller. It helps, me feel better about myself. But of not caring in the context of those around me that might think there exists rules or whether or not they think I'm dressing up. And so, do you feel that at the end of the day, sprezzatura is confidence in oneself without influence from those around them?
Absolutely. Of course, to be confident, you have to have also a great sense of personality. You know what I mean? And that's not easy. You acquire with the time, and of course, when you're very young, you are afraid of making mistakes. So that's why people maybe they don't wear color as much, maybe as I was wearing. Then it's like playing football. In Italy we play a lot of soccer. So as much as you play, as much you understand how to play, and you feel confident at the end of the day. And you're right, but I always say that you don't have even to pay too much attention when you're dressing, you know what I mean? Because paying attention to every single details, let's leave the time in the bathroom to the ladies, and that they are going to dress up in their beautiful. And actually, when before you were saying dressing up and dressing down, when you're going out with your girlfriend to a nice restaurant, you want that she dress with the beautiful heels and be nicely dressed, And you think that this it happened because it's the rule of the women. So why you should dress down?
Yeah. I agree.
So you pretend that the one that it's in front of you, it's beautiful and nicely dressed, but then you are not like that because why? You are a man.
Yeah.
Even the other way, you cannot dress up and then act like not a gentleman, because if you have to understand that it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not about what you're wearing, and more it's about how you acting. So I prefer you dressing a little bit down, but then you act like a gentleman. The good sense is at the top of everything. And then with the good sense, we have to go down and see how to make our own style.
Well, the ultimate pursuit of any gentleman is to make those around him feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Right, as a consideration of others. And so one of the ways that you show that is, of course, by how you treat people, how you behave in your mannerisms, right? But also how you dress, because in dressing well and dressing appropriately, you show respect for those around you. To take concern in dressing well, but to not preoccupy oneself, right? I mean, how long do you spend getting ready in the morning? Probably not that long.
5
right?
minutes.
Yeah, you're not there in the morning choosing between 5 ties and 3 knots to figure out, which matches best with your socks. Because I think that, a proper man, a real man, isn't preoccupying themselves to that degree of dressing well. And this is one of the virtues I find in classic menswear, and that by investing in timeless elegance, in fact, you make getting ready in the morning easier, which in my opinion is the greatest pursuit of any man, which is the elimination of superfluous decisions. So I go into my closet in the morning, I could blindfold myself, I could choose almost anything and be 90% certain that it would work well and I would look nice.
This is what our Rubinacci ready-to-wear it's all about. Mm-hmm. This is my philosophy when I create our collection, is that a man should build his wardrobe with our ready-to-wear, mix and matching things without even caring.
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning and okay, I can take whatever I want because I know that mix together.
Yeah.
Then if the mix is a bit more harder or bolder, then take it. You did a little bit of sprezzatura,
right.
but don't take care of it.
Yeah.
Don't think about. Don't think I'm gonna mix this with that. It's gonna be sprezzatura. I don't care, because if you go in an atelier and you find an atelier where a ready-to-wear is built in this way, you will be easy to pick up whatever you want.
Yeah.
And this, you make the life easier.
Yeah.
And you have more time to do all the rest.
Yeah, all the rest, which is, where the wealth lies, which is in relationships, not in spending time in one's closet in the morning, getting ready.
Absolutely, maybe small and not nice.
In the espresso, in the time together with good friends.
Like the espresso. The espresso, you don't have to wait 10 minutes to drink it.
Yeah.
It's just a shot.
It's ready. Yes, that's right.
It's just a shot. That is Neapolitan espresso, a shot of coffee. Yeah. When my international client says, "Oh, yes, your coffee, it's very short," and I always reply to them, "Yes, and pay attention because it's as short as strong."
That's right. Well, that's the Italian way. Thank you so much. We're being kicked out of the office, but it's been great while we were here. We've had pasta, we've had fish, we've had a martini.
Now it's time to go back to the real life
that's right.
of working people. But thanks, I really enjoyed it.